We have players with the habit to play matches like that. We want to play matches with this atmosphere, and they were good team, but we are good team also, and can fight both for this second leg, 90 minutes, with a confidence, but knowing it's going to be very difficult, and knowing how we can play our moments, their moments, 90 minutes. Emotional control also is important in one match like today, and enjoy.
You've only made 2 changes from last week. Torreira and Monreal are in, but otherwise still a very attacking team. How important is it to score today and get that away goal? Is that something you're telling your team to do, to go and get that?
It depends, because if they score it also, is not the first target for us. The first target for us is to do one match complete. Offensively, if we can score, it's important, but don't receive one goal is also important.
Very brilliant for the fans, but for the board, for the financial department especially, it was amazing.
2019, and it's another Europa League semi-final for the Arsenal manager. We rewind back to 2008, and a young, fresh-faced Unai Emery was about to embark on an entirely different challenge here at Mestalla.
We both arrived together to the club. I think Unai like 1 month before than me. I think that it was in the middle of the storm.
Valencia had won the Copa del Rey, but they were this close to relegation, and Koeman was sacked. So Koeman won a title, and 4 days later he was sacked. And that was Valencia's reality.
With the backdrop of the global financial crisis, Valencia found themselves in real turmoil, making Unai Emery's job increasingly difficult.
And Koeman was sacked. So Koeman won a title, and 4 days later he was sacked. And that was Valencia's reality.
With the backdrop of the global financial crisis, Valencia found themselves in real turmoil, making Unai Emery's job increasingly difficult.
Economy 101, okay? If you ask banks for loans, at some point the banks are going to come back to you and ask for those loans to be returned. It was actually pretty strange to explain, and very random the way the team fell apart on the earlier season.
First season we had David Silva, David Villa, a lot of good players, and we sold them.
Era un club en el que, pues bueno, el nivel de exigencia era muy alto. Quedábamos terceros por detrás del Madrid y Barcelona. Al final, pues bueno, competir con ellos es complicado. Y bueno, en el siguiente escalón, pues siempre estábamos nosotros. Creo que el nivel de exigencia era alto.
Mestalla, Valencia is a really nice place to play, and it's a really tough place to play as well. The fans there are really demanding. We had 3 years in a row finishing third. I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid, they were like unbelievable.
In Valencia, to be more than 2 years in charge, it's very difficult, and to be 4 years, it's a miracle. You know that only 2 managers, they were able to be 4 years. One is Alfredo Di Stéfano, and then Unai Emery.
Bueno, yo creo que al final no se le da el valor que tiene, o te vas con un sabor un poco amargo, porque bueno, parece como que quedar tercero es sencillo.
Well, if some fans weren't on side before, their opinions certainly didn't change in 2014 when a dramatic late goal from Stefan Mbia sealed Unai Emery's Sevilla's place in the Europa League final ahead of his former club.
Some fans believe that the way he celebrated here wasn't proper and wasn't cool.
Whoever comes to Mestalla for this match, I think it won't be good. It won't be good reception. He was just out of control in his happiness of that moment, because if Unai lost that match, most probably he never had the opportunity to train in the top level again.
They just couldn't score the second goal. We made some mistakes, and in the end they found the equalizer, and we couldn't find the last winning goal. So it's been a disappointing end of the season for us, because we put ourselves in a really good position, 5 games to play, and we sort of left the opportunity there.
Please, will you welcome Petr Cech.
Let's look back on your last season as a pro. How do you reflect on that?
I started the season really well, and obviously the only negative thing is the injury I sustained in the Watford game, which in the end proved to be the biggest difference of the season, because Ben took his opportunity to play, and since then I was playing mainly in the cup competitions. I put all my effort and energy into the European campaign, and now we are nearing the target, so hopefully the dream will come true.
A third goal for Arsenal, and they've turned this around after a nightmare start. It's a good job done by Unai Emery and his team here.
They had nothing to lose, and they played really well at the Emirates, but you know, we scored goals in crucial times, and we really played well. And the tie is far from over, because you know, they played home, they had nothing to lose. In football, to win 2-0 is not an easy task, but it's not an impossible task. The away goal will make a big difference as well, so the aim is obviously to score and try to control the game as much as possible.
There is a possibility of facing Chelsea in the final. Is that something you would relish, or would it be a bit...
My dream is to go all the way to the final and have the last game in the final with a happy ending, with the trophy in my hands and the medal around my neck. I'm glad that we are still here, that we have an opportunity to reach the final, and hopefully we will take the opportunity, because we put ourselves in a good position after the first game.
Special nights here. Arsenal are hoping the locals don't witness another one. What a sight that is, and what a sight this is. As you can see, two men who know how it feels to pull on an Arsenal jersey and play here as well. Martin Kieran and John Hartson are with us. But this feels like we've had two amazing football matches this week, built entirely on passion. And tonight, Arsenal are going to have to deal with this place, because when it gets full and when it gets loud, passion is the word.
Well, emotion as well, but I think tonight Arsenal need, obviously, to show that determination, desire, but a calmness. They're 2 goals up in the tie, and they had to find a way to get through. They would have been inspired by what they saw early in the week, as we all were, that emotion, you know, the way that you turn up and play for your team. Maybe that's been missing a little bit from an Arsenal point of view for a number of years. It's a chance tonight to put that right. I'm certainly hoping for a big performance.
Tonight in West London, Chelsea will be praying they can finish the job they started in Germany.
Pedro! Chelsea level!
Meanwhile, Arsenal's away form is set for a serious examination tonight, right here, at one of Europe's most emotional and evocative settings. Let's hope for no more great European comebacks this week. Hey?
Dear Derby, and Arsenal are in trouble very early on. Aubameyang, Lacazette, 1-1. Arsenal back in it. Lacazette, big chance. Arsenal are 2-1 up. Kolasinac towards the back post. Yeah.
In Spain and back at Mestalla, where he spent 4 years as manager. After no European trophy under Arsene Wenger, can he deliver one in his first season in North London? Look, this is Arsenal's only realistic route back to the big time in the Champions League. It is a huge night for Petr Cech and co. So, 2 English sides will contest the Champions League final. Can we make it a clean sweep? Kicking off at 8 PM, both here and at the Bridge, you can see if Chelsea can finish the job on BT Sport 3, as Arsenal look to defend their lead here on 2. And if they're going to do it, the Gunners are going to have to quieten some of Europe's most passionate fans at one of its great locations, the crumbling, cavernous, legendary Mestalla, with its famous North Stand that just reaches up to the heavens. This has been their home for almost a century. They've had some special nights here. Arsenal are hoping the locals don't witness another one. What a sight that is, and what a sight this is. As you can see, two men who know how it feels to pull on an Arsenal jersey and play here as well. Martin Kieran and John Hartson are with us. But this feels like we've had two amazing football matches this week, built entirely on passion. And tonight, Arsenal are going to have to deal with this place, because when it gets full and
them through into a glorious final, hopefully with Chelsea.
at one of Europe's most emotional and evocative settings. Let's hope for no more great European comebacks this week. Hey? So he seems to think it's still 50-50. I'm not sure Martin and John would agree with that, but looking at the Arsenal team, the one thing we can agree on is that he has gone attacking. There's no thoughts of shutting up shop here, is there, with the team that he's picked?
No, he's gone with Ozil playing off the front two. Torreira comes in instead of Guendouzi, and Monreal slips in there instead of Mustafi on that natural left-hand side. Monreal's all left-footed. So they have a threat certainly going forward. I feel Torreira and Xhaka very defensive minded. Certainly Torreira, although he scored the goal a couple of weeks ago for Arsenal.
The energy from Torreira.
Energy, and I think he gives that little bit more protection to that back three.
There was a clear message there, though, from Emery, wasn't there? Speaking much better. I've been having difficulty sometimes understanding him. I hope the players haven't had that difficulty. He said we need to defend first of all. If they score, then we go on the attack. But with those players on the pitch, Aubameyang and Lacazette, for me, they're world class. They're as good as anything you'll see in the Premier League and across Europe, and they're on the pitch, and that's important. The important thing is to keep Ozil in a central position, and then that he can feed these two great players at the top of the team.
So what's the sort of mental approach then tonight for Arsenal? Do you put the 3-1 out of your mind and you just try and win a football match over 90 minutes? Because if you start trying to do maths in your head and holding out for a draw, you know, one goal early on for Valencia, like we saw at the Emirates, and it's a very different.
Lacazette, big chance. Arsenal are 2-1 up. Kolasinac towards the back post.
For Valencia, like we saw at the Emirates, and it's a very different field.
Well, Arsenal naturally will have a threat because you've got two centre forwards there who love running in behind. They're a great out for you as a team. You know, the likes of Xhaka will be turning balls down the side, and he knows that Aubameyang and Lacazette will chase after the ball. But it's important for me, the first 20-25 minutes, they've got to stay in the game, Arsenal. They can't afford to concede in the first 5-6 minutes.
You're a big one for body language. Have a look at the guys warming up just a matter of feet away from us. Body language, what do you make of it?
I think they look strong, steely, focused, determined, as I'd expect at this stage. You know, it's just, I mean, we've seen with the Liverpool team and the Spurs this week, we've seen some incredible, almost like spiritual-like performances, inspired. I just hope it's with these guys tonight. You've got to go. I think they've got to go for it, and the team suggests they can. I don't think Arsenal are good enough to shut up shop, but this team Valencia domestically have failed to score here on 11 occasions in their 36 games recently, so let's hope they can't score tonight.
We shall see. Right, thanks for now, gentlemen. As you can hear, starting to get loud in here. After the break, we're going to focus on Unai Emery's time as the Valencia manager here. Look at that familiar face trying to cheer his team on from the sidelines. But what was life like here for him as the Valencia boss? We'll discuss that after the break. Overwhelming emotion ahead of this really was hopeful rather than confident, which perhaps tells you all you need to know about the Gunners' current struggles away from home, and there are tonight.
Unai Emery had to, every single summer, try to reinvent the wheel.
He doesn't stop, you know, he's got so much passion, giving orders, trying to help the players.
Y Unai pues siempre se ha caracterizado un poco porque los equipos donde estaba de menos a más.
The work of Unai maybe was not
Very interesting. Alongside us now, I'm pleased to say Paco Ayestaran joins us, former Valencia manager and a man who of course worked here with Unai Emery. Look, you watch that and you get the sense that they're not going to be too fond of Unai when he comes back tonight. Is that fair?
It's totally unfair. It's totally unfair. But it's true as well that every manager that came after the beginning of 2000 was the more successful period of Valencia ever. You know, everybody thought that this was usual to win the league, to win the Europe League. But this is a new. He finished third. Every season the club was waiting until last game of the season to renew the contract. and to be honest, was tough time for him. And I think he was successful, because at the end, success is not just to win. I think is a massive and great definition about success that I love, is that the peace of mind, that knowing that you get the best from the resources you've got.
Right. Okay.
I think he did.
But there's still going to be a feeling here this evening, isn't there, from Valencia players and also the fans, that they would like to beat him as much as beat Arsenal. What do you think that Valencia can do this evening to win this game? It's not going to be easy.
It's going to be difficult for them, because they have to approach the game in a way they are not used to. You know, they are a team that they feel so comfortable with the two lines of four in a defending deep, and with the two strikers ready to play on the break. For me, playing on the break, Valencia is, alongside Liverpool, the best team in Europe.
They don't like being in possession then,
no, they don't
and forcing games.
No, they don't
this
like
is something new for them tonight.
And they struggle. They struggle when they have to play against a team that they are defending in three quarters and give them, you know, the control of the game. They are struggling.
Coquelin comes back into the team tonight. He'll naturally play deeper. Will that allow then Pereiro, who I feel is a top class player? Great.
The composure with the ball. He knows when he needs to slow down the game, when he needs to speed up the game, and probably he's a key player. If Parejo is not in the game, Valencia has problems.
Just keep your mic a little bit closer to your mouth, Paco. It's quite loud in here. There's my sense that you're not particularly confident tonight, but we saw the early goal at the Emirates, and if we have a repeat of that this evening, early pressure from Valencia, the atmosphere and this game changes very quickly. 2-0 is enough.
No, and this is a club that, you know, is really demanding, you know, and doesn't allow you any mistake, but is as well behind you when you need, behind you when you need. And of course, today, if they got an early goal, the same that happened in Liverpool, that we
missed opportunities there, weren't they? And then eventually they scored that all-important goal, of course, but they couldn't then build upon it. I'm pretty certain that they really have honed in on a weakness that Arsenal had, and I expect a tightening up from Arsenal from all set pieces tonight.
I am sure that it's going to be a point in the game, and of course today, if they got an early goal, the same that happened in Liverpool, that we
missed opportunities there, weren't they? And then eventually they scored that all-important goal, of course, but they couldn't then build upon it. I'm pretty certain that they really have honed in on a weakness that Arsenal had, and I expect a tightening up from Arsenal from all set pieces tonight.
I am sure that it's going to be a point in the game that they are going to have a chance, for sure.
Well, Kevin Gamera said this week, didn't he, that Arsenal leave space for people to play. If they do that, then there's going to be some trouble. What do you think are the weaknesses in this Arsenal team warming up behind me that could be exploited if you were still managing Valencia?
Valencia is great. They play always with the two strikers close together. One of them trying to support in the middle, and the other one playing wide, making length from the wide area. And I think behind the fullbacks is the area where Valencia will try to play today.
Arsenal's wing-backs need to do, I mean, they need to go a long way back, and hopefully he's prepared his team. Emery, you've worked with him. I don't know what he does most of, defending or attacking, but he's going to do a lot of defending tonight, I'm sure.
And Unai has changed, you know. It's quite chameleonic, you know. It's a manager that he thinks, he thinks
too much.
No, not too much. He thinks that the team has to be ready to play in any way, you know, because not always you've got the control of the game. Sometimes you have to play deep, you have to play on the break. Sometimes you have the control and you have to play more combinative. And he's the guy that he prepared the game really well. He's passionate.
For his current club against his former club. It's a huge night for him. See you after the break. Stunning finals. Liverpool and Spurs have made it tonight. Chelsea and Arsenal look to emulate them. Now, if you're just joining us, here's the team news at the Mestalla, which will be a cauldron of noise in about 10 minutes' time. Monreal starts at the back tonight. He comes in for Mustafi. Meanwhile, in the middle, Guendouzi is out. Torreira is in. His energy is going to be vital tonight for the Gunners. But one man out there has seen it, done it, and won it, and might just check out from the game with one last hurrah.
top four dream.
We played well. I don't think that there is any argument about that. We created chances.
Well, look, he's been a great player. He is a great player. He's a great bloke as well, and it wouldn't be any more fitting than him against Chelsea in a final. We'd love to see it happen for him, wouldn't we?
Well, yes, from a sentimental point of view, yes, but I think his sole focus is getting Arsenal to the final. He's been a magnificent goalkeeper, one of the best for me, you know, in the last 10-15 years of the Premier League. Won trophies at Chelsea, then he came to Arsenal. I don't think he's the huge presence that we saw at Chelsea in his prime, but he's come to Arsenal and he's still very, very good.
I suppose in many ways it's a very different defence that he's behind, isn't it? And you still look at this Arsenal defence, and for such an experienced goalkeeper, there's some rudimental errors happening in front of him.
There are, and
defence, and for such an experienced goalkeeper, there's some rudimental errors happening in front of him.
There are, and Petr will do his damnedest to try to wake them up. And if you look at these opportunities here, this is early in the game. Okay, Petr puts it into harm's way there, but Maitland-Niles, that's a really poor header, and these were some mistakes being made right at the beginning of a very early start for us, a very nervous one in that. And this is a game recently, of course, at the weekend where terrible clearance there by Leno, and then suddenly there's a panic in the Arsenal team. And where is that leader? Well, this is a stupid thing here to do, to give a penalty. We can't afford to do that tonight. Everybody's got to do everything exactly perfect tonight. No silly mistakes from Xhaka.
And let's not forget, you know, as well tonight, in terms of Arsenal going forward, they do have £100 million worth of forwards playing for them. They can be a constant there. I'm looking at that pitch and I'm thinking, they get half a chance. Two great players, Lacazette in particular, we see him here, very, very sharp. That's his free kick against Napoli, which ultimately turned out to be a huge goal. And this was his goal last week, where Aubameyang does so well for him, but he has to be up with play. Lacazette, Aubameyang cuts inside, and he tacks that away really nicely.
I like the way they look for one another. You know, there's a telepathic link almost between them. Two quality players. Can they cope with it, Valencia, on the break? I think they might struggle with them.
It's been the story of the season, hasn't it? Lapses at the back, but being saved up top. I can't wait to see what happens this evening. It's going to be fascinating. Right, as you can see, the Arsenal fans are troubled in their numbers, more than 2,000 of them. They're doing their best to create a bit of noise inside Mestalla. It's going to get really loud in a few minutes' time. Oh, there's a face we all recognise. Right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're building up to kick-off in the Europa League semi-final. Stay where you are.